Once upon a time, Ned Fulmer was the internet's favorite wife guy. He built his entire brand on being the loyal husband, the doting partner, the man who always put family first. And then, in one of YouTube's biggest scandals, that image shattered overnight. 3 years later, Ned is stepping back into the spotlight with something no one saw coming, a brand new podcast called Rock Bottom. But here's the twist. He's bringing Ariel, the very wife he betrayed, to sit beside him and talk publicly about what really went down. Back in 2022, everything unraveled in the most dramatic way possible. Ned, the so-called wife guy, was caught in an affair with an employee from his own production company. The news exploded online, not just because of the cheating itself, but because of the irony. Fans had spent years watching him gush about Ariel, turning their relationship into a core part of his public image. To see that image collapse felt like a betrayal, almost like the audience had been cheated on too. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Memes flooded social media. The Try Guys released their now famous breakup video, and Ned was forced to step away from the group he helped create. In just a few days, he went from internet golden boy to scandal headline, and his reputation was in free fall. But that was only the beginning. After the scandal, Ned didn't just lose his career, he vanished. No social media posts, no videos, nothing. For someone who had lived online for nearly a decade, the silence spoke volumes. Behind the scenes, he admitted the constant flood of comments was wrecking his mental health, so he pulled the plug completely. Meanwhile, his marriage became the internet's favorite debate. Some fans begged Ariel to walk away, while others hoped the couple could somehow repair the damage. What few people knew at the time was that they had entered couples therapy, trying to rebuild on what Ned later called a new foundation of trust. For years, they kept their struggles private, appearing together only occasionally, like distant echoes of the once-pictured perfect family brand. But the quiet wouldn't last forever. Fast forward to September 2025, and the truth finally came out. After years of speculation, Ned and Ariel confirmed what many fans had already suspected: they're no longer together. TMZ hinted at the split first, but it was people who broke the official story. The couple had separated 3 years after the scandal. What made the announcement even more surprising was how civil it all seemed. A spokesperson revealed that Ned cares deeply for Ariel, and that they're still committed to co-parenting their 2 kids. They even traveled to Greece together this summer, which sent fans into a frenzy trying to decode whether they were reconciling or just keeping up appearances. Either way, the separation wasn't bitter, at least not publicly. But that didn't mean Ned was fading quietly into the background. Instead of retreating, Ned chose the one move nobody expected: a comeback. And not with another YouTube channel or food challenge video, but with a podcast called Rock Bottom. The concept? Sitting down with people who've hit their lowest points and hearing how they rebuilt their lives. It's almost poetic, considering his own fall from grace. But the biggest shock isn't the theme, it's the guest list. For the very first episode, Ned invited Ariel to join him. Yes, the same Ariel who lived through the scandal and is now separated from him. Together, they'll speak publicly about the cheating for the first time since it happened. For fans who spent years speculating about what really went on, this isn't just content, it's closure, or at least the closest thing to it. And it raises a question no one thought they'd ask again. Is Ned Fulmer trying to redeem himself? When Ned finally spoke out, he didn't shy away from addressing the elephant in the room, the wife guy persona that made his scandal stink so much harder. He admitted that leaning into the image of the perfect husband wasn't just natural, it was calculated. Fans loved it, so he played into it. But behind the camera, things weren't nearly as flawless as they looked. Ned even called the scandal a kind of rug pull for his audience, saying it must have been painful for viewers to realize the person they trusted online wasn't the same in real life. That disconnect, he confessed, pushed him into self-destructive choices. In other words, the brand he built became a mask he couldn't keep wearing, and eventually, it cracked. But just when it seemed like he was bearing it all, he revealed another unexpected shift. After years of living under the microscope, Ned says he's done putting his personal life on display. This time around, there will be no family vlogs, no kids on camera, and no perfect marriage narrative for fans to buy into. He admitted that stepping away from the spotlight gave him and Ariel a chance to redefine what privacy actually means, and they realized they didn't want their children growing up as part of the content machine. He also made it clear that he's approaching his audience differently now. Instead of obsessing over every comment, and trying to win back approval, Ned insists he'll let the work speak for itself. Listen to feedback if it's helpful, tune out the rest, and keep moving forward. It's a stark contrast to the old Ned who thrived on validation, but is this genuine growth, or just part of the rebrand? Of course, fans have been all over the story. Some see Ned's return and the podcast with Ariel as a genuine attempt at redemption, proof that people can rebuild after mistakes. Others are skeptical, questioning whether it's a calculated move to control the narrative and win back lost followers. Social media is buzzing with hot takes, memes, and endless debates, as viewers dissect every detail. The Greece vacation, the podcast announcement, even Ariel's participation in the first episode. Rumors are already swirling about whether this marks the start of a full comeback, or if it's just a strategic rebrand. Every comment section seems to have its own opinion, and the audience is split between forgiveness and outrage. One thing's for sure, no one is ignoring this story, and every new episode will be analyzed under a microscope. But that brings us to the bigger question. So here's the irony. The wife guy, who fell from internet fame, is now hosting a podcast about hitting rock bottom. He's sitting down with Ariel, confronting the scandal that changed everything, and trying to turn it into something meaningful. Whether this is the start of a true redemption story, or just a clever rebrand, is still up for debate. One thing's certain, Ned Fulmer's return proves that even the most public falls can lead to unexpected new beginnings. And for fans, it leaves a lingering question. Can someone really rebuild trust after a scandal that everyone saw unfold online, or are some reputations just too far gone?